Hello everyone, my name is Dinda Celine Membang with student ID 2025-32 and 002. Now I will explain my project from SPSS. In this section, we need to create 4 different rows for our variables. In the first row, we type x1, in the second row, we type x2, and the third row, we type x3, and the fourth row, we type y. After that, we move to the label column and we give each variable a clear name so it's easy for us to read. We write task motivation for x1, work ability for x2, work culture for x3, and work productivity for y. And then next, we look at the decimal column. We change all the numbers from the default value to 0 because our data contains only whole numbers without any commas. Lastly, we look at the measure, the right side, and we can change all of them to scale so our application knows these are numerical scores. After finishing our variable setup, we look back at the bottom left corner and we click the data view tab. We will now see 4 columns labeled x1, x2, x3, and y. We can take the data for our table in here. Now, we look at the main menu bar at the very top of our SPSS window. We click on the word Analyze. Then we move our mouse down to Find Regression, and we can click Linear. A new smaller window named Linear Regression will pop up on our screen. We look at the list of variables on the left side. We can click the label of productivity work and move it to the dependent column. And for the 3 labels of X, we can move it into the independence column. Motivation work, work ability, and work culture. Before we move, we can click this button, the statistic button, and for descriptive, we give checklist for this, and we can click continue. After that, we can click OK for the linear regression table. And this is the result for the step before. Based on the first table called descriptive statistic behavior of our sample data. The average or mean score for work productivity from our 15 workers is 45.80. For the factors that influence it, we can see the average score for task motivation is 30.60. The average score for work ability is 32.13, and for work culture is 30.13. If you look at the second table called correlation, we can see how close the connection is between each variable. First, the connection between task motivation and productivity work is 0.965. This number is very close to 1, which is tell us about that motivation has a very strong and positive connection to productivity. When motivation goes up, productivity goes up too. The second, we see the connection between work ability and work productivity. It's also strong and positive with a score of 0.899. This is mean better ability makes workers more productive. The third, if we look at the work culture, the connection score to productivity is 0.275. This number is low, which proves to us that work culture has a very weak connection to employee productivity in this company. In the model summary table, we can find out how good our overall model is at explaining the result. Let us look at the column named R square, where our score is 0.962. To make this easier to understand, we can turn it into a percentage, which is give us 96.2%. This percentage means that 96.2% of the good or bad levels of work productivity among our workers are caused by task motivation, work ability, and work culture, which is this is working together at the same time. This is a very high percentage, meaning our model is very accurate. On the other hand, there is a small leftover of 3.8% that we cannot explain. This tiny 3.8% is caused by other simple things outside of our study, such as the office temperature, the quality of tools, or the amount of monthly salary. The next is coefficient table. Our constant value is 23.237. This means if an employee has zero motivation, zero ability, and zero culture, our baseline score for work productivity will still be 23.237. Where our task motivation coefficient is 0.481. This positive number tells us that if motivation goes up by 1 point, the employee's productivity will automatically increase by 0.481. Now, let us look at the significant column. The score is 0.000 because this score is much smaller than our standard limit of 0.05. We can officially say that task motivation has a real, powerful, and significant effect on work productivity. And for work ability, coefficient is 0.202. This positive number tells us if a worker's ability increases by 1 point, their productivity score will also rise by 0.202. The significance score for this variable is 0.028. Since 0.028 is smaller than our standard limit of 0.05, it proves to us that work ability also has a real and significant effect on increasing productivity. And for work culture, coefficient is 0.044. This number is very small for us. If culture increases by 1 point, productivity only goes up by a tiny 0.044 points. If we check its significant score, it's 0.423 because 0.423 is much bigger than our limit of 0.05. It clearly proved to us that work culture does not have any significant or real effect on the worker's productivity. Okay, that's all that I can explain from my project 3, use SPSS. Thank you for watching and bye-bye.